Good morning everyone, happy Monday. Beautiful sunny day in Stoke-on-Trent, and I'm excited today because I'm going to be visiting the brand new EP Iron Jungle in Stockport. They've basically relocated, they've moved from the old mill building that they were in, moved into a new, I think it's a warehouse. So really excited to see what they've done with the place. I already know they've got some fantastic kit, I already know that I'm going to have a fantastic workout. We're going to be training pull today, but for now, time to go. So in terms of where I'm sort of up to goal-wise, I'm going away on holiday in about 11 days, I think it is, going to Portugal. The main thing for me was obviously to get beach lean, and to be perfectly honest, I think I'm there. I'm pretty much there. There's not a great deal to do, so I'm going to make sure that I keep sending it with my training. I'm going to make sure that I'm keeping my food nice and high as well, because I think I can still fill out a little bit. Going to be training hard, going to be doing everything within 10. The only thing I'm not looking forward to is setting up the camera for all my shots and stuff like that. I feel a little freestyle session coming on. Yeah, I'm him. Pre-workout, then straight to the gym. If a man ever says that I look thin, he'll get a left hook right to the chin. Boy. You ever think some more gym bars? So I've just arrived at the gym. It's a lot easier to find than the old one, so that's always a good thing. So I'm just about to go in there, have a pre-workout, and then get going with the workout, so let's go. So when we're training back, one thing that we don't really take into account is the amount of bracing that we're going to do throughout the workout. The abs are going to get used quite a lot, so in terms of the warm-up, I always think it's important to do maybe 1 or 2 sets of abs, get that brace working properly, and as a result you will get stronger on the lifts that you do. So it's definitely something that I would recommend there. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with a rear delt fly to really engage the rear delts and really get the blood in there, ready for the more compound exercises that we are about to do. One thing that I like to do when I'm doing the rear delt flies is really sort of envisage pulling myself into the machine as I do the rep, and make sure that you're keeping the weight quite light as well. If you are looking to just hit the rear delts, then they do not need much in terms of stimulus before sort of the traps and the larger muscle groups do take over. So yeah, just bear that in mind. No need to ego lift on this, and it is still very much a warm-up. That's everything warmed up. So we're going to start with an isolateral pull down. So we're going to see what we can find. Before we start the exercise, got a quick little lifting strap tutorial. So make sure that the strap is facing down your palm. Then when you go onto the bar, what you want to do is wrap underneath the bar and towards your fingers, not over the bar and towards the palm of your hand. And wrap it under twice. Rev the strap like a motorbike. You can also pull on the loose end, and there you go. So you'll be stuck in position until you let go. So the first pull down exercise that we're going to do is on the Nautilus lat pull down, which I think is really, really good. We're going to do one arm at a time as well. And there's a few things that you need to consider when you are setting up for this to really maximise what you're going to get out of the exercise. So first and foremost, grip onto the strap, then get a nice solid brace on this, so you're going to push yourself away. So this is the starting movement. We're going to lean over slightly to the side, bring our shoulder back and down, then we're just going to drive our elbow down into our hip. It's lovely. Perfect. And one thing that I'm always mindful of with this movement as well is really keeping the shoulder back, and you'll feel the stretch on the lats a lot more. So you might be inclined to sort of bring your arms forward a little bit, your shoulder forward. Try not to do that, and you'll get a really, really good stretch. So another thing to consider as well, so when you are training isolaterally or one arm at a time, by the time you've done your first arm, you're going to be fatigued from that. Obviously your heart rate's going to be elevated, and if you go straight into the other arm, it's going to mean that you're not quite as strong as you could be. So make sure you take about 30 seconds or a minute's rest in between those sets there. Treat them as if they are full sets and not half of an isolateral set. Let me see you shaking your boots, go back to the old school, back to the roots. One more. Fuck me. Obviously, another benefit of training sort of one arm at a time. If you are struggling with a rep, then you can always use the other arm to just help you complete that. If you are going to do that and do that self spot, obviously just make sure that you are controlling the eccentric on the way back. For me, the eccentric is the most important part of the movement. It's where you really, really break down the muscle fibres. So obviously do not neglect that, and you'll find if you ego lift, that eccentric will be compromised. So if you need to, use a lighter weight and do the movement a little bit more slowly, be absolutely golden. So now we've done a pull down exercise, want to focus on a row next to really hit more of the upper and middle back as opposed to just the lats. So the thing that I'm choosing to do here, it's a prime extreme row. Again, like all prime stuff, can sort of adjust the resistance on the machine. So we can really target different contraction points where we're actually getting the load. So we're just going to jump in. I have to take my mark off this because I will break it. But yeah, let's see what we can do. Also, from watching this footage back, if you do want to buy my Booty Builder program, there will be a link in the bio. With the Prime kit, I've actually got one plate on the middle pin, I've got 2 plates on the top pin, so the contraction is really towards the start and the middle of the rep, which I find to be really good for this. I also used the pronated grip. As you can see, there is another grip on the machine. If you were to use that inner one, then you would be hitting more of your lats for this, but obviously because on the last exercise that was lat focused, really wanted to focus on the upper back and the rear delts. Next I'm moving into another sort of isolateral row. So I'm doing that on the Nautilus. It's one of my, again, favourites for this. Let me show you how to set up for this. Can't get my fucking head in, so I'm gonna strap up. I'm actually gonna post up my opposite leg. Then I'm gonna drive my shoulder down and back. Get in position. Brace on this leg, as you can see. Shoulder back, I'm going to drive into the hip again. It feels lovely. Rain got him. Pretty much failed at exactly the same place there. It was like 7.5 reps, so at least I know this isolateral work's paying off, because obviously both sides are equal strength. So if you are doing these exercises and you find that one side's a lot stronger than the other, make sure you start out with that weak side, and then obviously you can match that with the stronger side. But if you start off with your stronger side, let's say you get 10 reps but you're going to get 6 out of your weak side, then it's always going to remain a weakened side for you until you make these changes. So one of the problems with fucking working out are, I forget how many sets that I've done or how many reps that I've done. I might have to look back at what I've done and actually count the reps there. So the last exercise I'm going to do for the lats, and to really toast them off, I'm going to do a single arm cable pullover. So you might have seen people do it with 2 before, but I like to just do it with the cuff. So it's really simple to set up. Get your cuff in, this angle here, and all you're going to do is again get your shoulder down and back, and just drive into that pocket. Oh, you'll really feel that. Just feel the stretch at the top. Drive down. There's a guy in here training legs today that's fucking sending it. Yeah. So we're just going to do the same again with the other side. And set up. I'm trying to keep that chest up as well. Come on. Just get the half rep in as well. 7.5 each side, let's go. So I realised after watching the footage back that I actually got 8.5 reps with one arm and 7.5 with the other. It's not the end of the world though. And then I went to do some posing. I wanted to use the posing room, but it was taken, so I just used the changing rooms, and I recorded this on my phone because my camera battery was pretty much fried. So still not a fan of my front double bicep, but my back looks really good, so I'm happy with that. Got a nice good pump, and that was the end of the session. So it was quite short and sweet, but I definitely worked hard, hit all the muscles within the back that I wanted to hit, and then it was time for my journey at EP Stockport to come to an end. Okay, so that's the session done. I did do some bicep curls at the end of the session, but my camera battery's on fucking life support at the moment, so I didn't want it to run out of juice. Yeah, really good session, really good gym. I wish I could have got a little bit more footage of the gym itself. But yeah, I hope the quality of everything's good. But for now, I'm off to find somewhere to eat, and I'm sure I'll see you next time. Let's go.
I ain't even posting no more, never gonna get a certified. All this.